Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to World of Horror. So, this episode comes with an asterisk, and potentially the next two episodes also come with said asterisk, as I need to do a mini backlog. When I first started up the game, the screen was black, and I don't think this was World of Horror's fault. I think this was something to do with my laptop. But when I first started up the game, OBS said encoding overloaded, and I forgot to switch over to using my audio DAC, so I could still hear audio from my laptop, and I was hearing, the screen was completely, like, when I tabbed into the game, the screen was completely black, and I heard a doot-doot, doot-doot, doot, and yeah, it just kind of did that for like a couple of minutes. I didn't really know what to do. My computer wasn't responding just in general, so that's very strange. And not the good kind of doo 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 from the white label whatchamacallit. Come on, what's that game called? Unbeatable, I believe. Unbeatable, correct. Unbeatable white label. So that's a little bit... Oh, it says it right here! Encoding overloaded. Consider turning down the video settings. I have no idea why it says that. Now, this video should be fine. I just bumped the microphone there. I do apologize for that, but I'm a little bit concerned. I'll be honest with you, I'm a little bit concerned. I have no idea if it was doing that. Like, obviously, this is sort of a situation where it's like, if I don't know about it, it can't hurt me. Because it might have been saying this while I record normally. I'm not entirely sure. But here we are. So we're just gonna play the game. I've been reviewing every episode just to make sure that it, like, visually looks good, and I've been, like, skipping 30 seconds into the video to make sure that the audio sounds good. And I haven't noticed anything. Something could escape me, it's true. But we're gonna try to make these next 3 episodes short because, you know, I need to record them all tonight. And I do have to wake up kind of early, so let's go. So, second mystery, and then stat checks, which, you know, it's Miku, it's the lighthouse, it solves itself, really. So I'm happy to say, I am happy to, to announce that we are going to continue playing Shadowverse for a little bit longer. The next Shadowverse episode is going to be... And unfortunately, I don't know when I'll be able to upload it. Probably in maybe 3 days, because it is a longer episode. We did a pack opening, because there's like, if you spend money on the game... Yeah, I know. Free-to-play game, you spend money on it. No. If you spend money on the game when you're a new player, you get a lot of bonuses. And so... I did, because I really get into these kinds of games, you know, so it's worth it for me, because I'll be playing it, for hours on end. Like, I played Hearthstone an absurd amount of time. I was never really good at Hearthstone, admittedly, but, you know, I still played Hearthstone a lot. And back then, you know, I was, like, a free-to-play Hearthstone player. For the most part, I occasionally put money into the game, like, every couple of months or so. But now... You know, I decided that, you know, hey, you got a little bit more disposable income than you used to have, so might as well, right? Might as well pick up a bundle. So, the next Shadowverse video is going to be a pack opening, and it's a lot of fun. So we didn't do the side quest. I am aware of this. We don't really care that much about... the side quest here. Like, the only thing it means to us is the EXP, which we don't really worry about that much. I mean, we can worry about it if you want to. I don't see why we would, though. You love to see that. That was a little bit sketchy, because we would have gone down to 4 if we missed one of those, but... I think we're relatively good. I'm trying to play relatively quickly, and I do apologize for that. But, you know, I'm excited for the future of content. I feel like I have a bunch of ideas for stuff that I want to do once I get back to, like, my main setup. I have a bunch of ideas for stupid videos, and the World of Horror ones, if they're good enough, they will take precedence over the daily upload. And so basically what that would mean is, like, you'd get, instead of your daily upload, you'd get the wacky World of Horror video that I have in mind. So, don't worry. If it replaces the daily World of Horror, it will still be World of Horror related. It'll just be something much different. Because I have a few really funny ideas that I want to try. Not necessarily more intricate than the April Fool's video, if that makes sense. Because I want to do more things like the April Fool's video, because it was just so ridiculous, man. It was just so ridiculous. So, bulletin board is our second mystery, and we do have to do the side quest here because I don't want to die. But other than that, we're pretty happy with that. As far as how the run is going itself, I mean, pretty standard Miku start, honestly. It could be a lot worse, so I'm gonna say we're happy with how things are going. We want to hit this here, obviously. I mean, we want to hit every attack that we throw out, but you know what I mean. So this is basically like taking, goes down to 9. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, we're gonna take another 75. I don't really think this was worth it, by the way. I think that, oh my god. That's disgusting. Like, sometimes you get a mystery like this, where it's like, or sometimes you get a medical history game where you never see a single injury in your entire playthrough, and then you have other medical history games where it's like, injury, 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 and it's like, alright, I get it, man, I get it. Eldritch Amulet is I believe on Twitch, they would say this is a pog moment, like a poggers moment. I'm not entirely, well, I am certain, because I do know, like, I picked up a lot of it when I was hanging out with Joey for the first few times. I had him explain some of them to me. And as we went over in a previous episode, I recently discovered what no cap meant. Because people would say no cap. I think Plunger said that to me a few times, and I was like, uh-huh. I just kind of nodded my head pretending to know what that meant, and incidentally, it means no kappa. Our master is coming, and you will bask in his glory. We don't like that. We don't like those. So this is exactly 5. I guess I could say there was an absolutely insane show that made for TV movie that I watched today, and it was, listen, Stalker Mom was entertaining. This movie was ridiculous, right? So the premise of the movie was essentially, I can't remember exactly what it was called. I think it was called Deadly Daughter. Listen, I'm horrible with names, man. I wouldn't be much better, okay? I wouldn't be much better when it comes to naming schemes, so I'm not gonna give them crap for Deadly Daughter. And it's topical. It's appropriate. So So Deadly Daughter is basically a movie about this woman. She works at a nature touring company, and she has a bunch of coworkers and a mom who are pressuring her to get a boyfriend, but she doesn't want to get a boyfriend because they're too much work or whatever. I don't remember. Listen, man, that movie is a fever dream. Okay, that movie didn't happen. So, this is spoilers for the movie Deadly Daughter, and it said, before the movie played, it said premiere. Okay? It said premiere. So I don't actually know if, like, I don't know when this movie came out. If this movie came out this year, I wouldn't know a thing. Alright? I would not know a single thing. You want to get a magic item? Chances are it's a C-slot item, but do we really need a magic item when we have an Eldritch Amulet? Probably not. Yeah, look at this. Eldritch Amulet trade in 1 fund. That's disgusting. How dare you? How dare you? I can't believe you'd even do that. Sorry, just looking. Thank God we have the forest note. I was scared for a second there. I don't know what happens if you don't have the forest note, and we're never gonna find out. Maybe it lets you fight together without taking -5. That would be cool. That'd be interesting variation as well. However, so basically, her friends and family are pressuring her into getting a boyfriend. She doesn't want one. And so what she decides to do is she decides to go on, I think it's called, you're gonna think I'm making this up, but their fake social media app, I'm pretty sure, is called Peak Hole. Like, it's called Peak something. Alright, I don't know if it's Peak Click, or Peak Hole, or Peak Book. I do not remember. But it is Peak something, I'm pretty sure. We deleted the movie after watching it so that we could get more recording space on the thing, so I'm never gonna rewatch that movie. But she goes onto the social media app, and she starts looking for guys who have their profiles saying that they're gonna date. Like, they're looking for people to date. And she finds this guy called Mr. Wonderful. Again, you're gonna think I'm making this up, but I'm not. She finds this guy called Mr. Wonderful. And she basically takes his photo and photoshops herself in, but she's doing it in her office. And this is important, by the way. How the office is set up is to where it's kind of like stacked, to where one person is in the back, and then one person is in front of them, and then there's a person in front of them, and a person in front of them, etc., etc. And so this is a plot device, by the way. This is Chekhov's office, okay? This is Chekhov's office cubicle. So basically, you can, if you just look up if you just look up over your monitor, you can see everything that she's doing on her computer. And so her nosy friend is like, hey, what are you doing on your computer? And you can see clearly on her computer from, like, the friend's perspective, you can see the guy's photo. And I actually love this about the movie, all right? This is genuinely a really nice touch. You can see on her computer the guy's photo. Like, when you're searching for images on, like, Google or whatever, right? And you open the photo, and then it will, like, push all of the other photos and give it, like, a gray border, and then the photo will be there. Like, they actually, like, uploaded the photo, and then they just did that, because it looks very authentic. And then on the right half of her screen, she's just got Photoshop open. And you can see her, like, messing around with it to make herself more, like, apparent and, like, superimposed into the image. But her friend is stupid and buys it. And she's like, no, listen. I'm making this photo so that I can fool my mom, alright? So that she can stop hassling me about getting a boyfriend. And she's completely justified in this action, by the way. I want to make this perfectly clear. Up until that point in the movie, the only thing that her mother talks to her about is getting a boyfriend. Like, every single conversation. Completely justified in that right there. 100%. Her mom is weird about it, right? There are her mom talks about 2 things. One, that the main character's dad is dead, and he died a year ago. And 2, that the main character needs to get a boyfriend. Those are the only 2 things the mom ever says in the movie up until, like, the end or whatever. Like, up until the thriller part starts, right? And so, completely justified in those actions. But the thing is, all of her friends are weirdos. Like, they really are. So everybody immediately starts gossiping about how she has a boyfriend. And then she has to tell every individual in the office, no, I don't have a boyfriend. This is just a Photoshop to fool my mom. Alright, she has to do that to every single person in the office, okay? And everybody's going crazy about it. And then there's this one lady who works at, like, the office is a big box, right? Like, the main character and a couple of her friends work on the right side of the office, like the right wall of the office. There's this weird pillar thing in the middle of the room, and then a couple of other of her friends work in, like, the top left corner of the office, right? And so one of her friends uses her admin access to access her computer, and then she was still logged in on the dating site. And so her friend, Bethany, I remember her name. She's the only character whose name I remember, which is Bethany. Bethany logs on to her computer, and then she's still logged on. She uses her admin access to log on to the MC's computer. And then you can never guess what happens next, all right? This is just so absolutely insane. Bethany takes her photo that she photoshopped and puts it on the dating site, edits her profile, and then posts it. And so while the MC is talking to all of her other friends, saying, "No, he's not my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend. This is just to fool my mom." Are we dead here? No, we're not dead here, thank God. I probably should have cauterized once we had the desperation thing going on. Broken jaw prevents you from casting spells. That's quite right, so we'll go fix that right now. We're gonna go fix that. We're gonna get painkillers, and then we're gonna have the wombo combo, the 1-2. You see this? Look at this. That's incredible. No one's ever done that in the history of Dota 2, namely because they don't have wounds that can only be healed by burning them shut. Huge. We also have a lump of flesh that I completely forgot about, which we probably could have used at some point, but it's not important. Now, we're gonna have to go back to get the burn taken care of, because we don't want to be burned, because being burned is bad, the ancient astronaut theorists would suggest. So Bethany edits her account as being in a relationship with a love interest guy. And so I actually don't know if they get together at the end of the movie. I don't actually think they do, but he's love interest man, all right? That's the purpose that he serves in the movie. So love interest man is now, like, officially dating her on the internet. And he uses... Listen, you want to know how much of a weirdo love interest man is? He has himself on Google Alerts. Alright? He has it to where when anybody posts anything involving him, he gets a notification about it. That is how insane our Mr. Wonderful is. Okay? Yeah. Yeah, that's how insane our boy is. Definitely normal human being right there. Oh, man. So he finds out that there's this girl claiming to date him, and then he does what any normal person would do, and cyberstalks her, finds out everything about her, and then he shows up at her gym to interrogate her. And, oh man. Oh, it gets so much weird. It gets, like, you can't even guess where this is going. Alright. So, they start dating each other, because of course they do. And if you... He's the bait, by the way. You're supposed to think that he's the villain. And he kind of is, to some extent, because he's a weirdo, but he's also not the villain in the traditional sense. There's from a storytelling perspective, there is a traditional villain, alright? There's a villain. But oh yeah, you would not believe how much weirder it gets, because it gets so much weirder, alright? It does. It really, truly does get weirder. So, they go on a date, they have a great time, and then this is Chekhov's race. Okay, this is Chekhov's running area. I don't remember what they call it. They called it something weird like our running spot or something. But we are gonna just walk. We're not gonna run, we're just gonna walk. That's fine. So she invites Mr. Wonderful to go running with her. And Mr. Wonderful there's this weird plot point at the beginning of the movie where she's so good at all sporting activities that whenever she goes on a date with a guy, she humiliates him and then he never wants to date her again. Because she's good at the sports thing, right? So she challenges Mr. Wonderful to a race at the pond, you know, just down, do a run around the pond. And Mr. Wonderful absolutely destroys her. He's Sonic the Hedgehog, man. He's so fast. He's the speediest lad in the land, all right? Like you can't even get you can't even see him. That's how quick this man moves. He is faster than the speed of sound. Okay, so he easily outruns her. And she is she's kinda salty, all right? But she's not like huge. She's not like she's not gonna be a jerk about it, right? She's kinda salty, but she's not gonna be a jerk about it, okay? And so then it's time to introduce the Mr. Wonderful boyfriend to the family and the friends. And so they go out drinking, and what do you know? Shenanigans ensue. And by shenanigans ensue, I mean somebody gets murdered. Because of course they do. Now, we're led to believe, as the viewer, not as the character, because the character, the MC, she is led to believe something else. But as a character, as the viewer, as the POV, we are led to believe that the person who is murdered because she found out that Mr. Wonderful was the person who killed the MC's dad 1 year ago. Because there's a news article saying that Mr. Wonderful is the only suspect in the murder, the hit and run, right? And so, right as she finds this out, she gets murdered. And the main character is framed for this murder. Now, because this is a made-to-TV movie, the special effects department is not that great, and I'm not gonna give them slack, or I misspoke. I am going to give them slack. I am not going to give them a hard time, because there's not really like a lot of action in the movie that really requires special effects, but I will say, when they shoot the gun, it's terrible. They only shoot a gun like twice, but when they do, it's not very good. I will be entirely realistic here. It's not good. So the murder scene, it's not fun like it is in Midsommar, right? Like the murder scenes in Midsommar can sometimes be really fun, which I know that sounds a little bit weird and maybe a little bit strange, but it's true. It is. It is true. Like, when you see somebody, like, there's no gore, there's no blood or anything, but they're dead because they were crushed by, like a hand printing press, and it's sort of like, how do I put it? It's just like they were crushed by a hand printing press, and so you see all over their clothes and their skin is just, like, the letters of the alphabet or whatever. Like, that's fun, right? Like, also, there was an episode of Midsommar Murders I watched where there is a boy who plays violent video games, and he's the one who did it. Like, he's the one who orchestrated all the murders. And at the end of the episode, Barnaby looks to the camera and says, "Oh God, what? I don't remember the exact quote, but Barnaby was like, you know, when when murder becomes entertainment, we all lose track of, like, what's really important. And he just kind of, like, looks at the camera. Oh, Barnaby, you cheeky lad. It was one of the old summer ones. It was a great episode, actually. Absolute banger. But I thought that was funny, because it was like a joke on... I hope it wasn't serious, because, I mean... It seemed like the show was self-aware about it, but basically, the entire episode was Barnaby commenting about, hey, this kid is playing a super violent game where he, like, decapitates people when he wins. We shouldn't make entertainment out of murder. And it's like, yeah, Barnaby, yeah, right. But, so, yeah, anyways, the special effects of Deadly Daughter are bad. True story. So yeah, the friend is murdered, and the MC, she's framed for the crime that she definitely didn't commit, even though she was blackout drunk, and she doesn't remember anything about that night. Turns out it was like a sedative, though. Now, you're led to believe that the boyfriend is evil. However, anybody who is, and this is actually the cleverest thing that the movie does, and I think it was actually rather well done, just in general, is that there's a scene where the main character is chased by the villain, and you're thinking to yourself, obviously, that if the villain was the guy, the villain would catch her. Like, because the Mr. Wonderful Man, he's super fast. But the MC, who's a runner, she outruns the villain. So you immediately know that, oh no, it can't be him. And so, Mr. Wonderful, he got hired by the Adventure Wonder Trails company to perform computer work for them. And so the guy, he's going on the computers and he finds the dead girl's files, and he finds out that Bethany was the one who actually did the hit and run. And so, but here's the thing, what he doesn't know, I just bumped the microphone again, I do apologize for that, but what he doesn't know is that everybody, because here's the thing, the MC is not very smart, and so she doesn't put that together, that the killer trying to chase her couldn't catch her, so it couldn't have possibly been Mr. Wonderful. But she doesn't put that together. And so she calls the police, and the police send an arrest warrant out for Mr. Wonderful. And so Mr. Wonderful's trying to, like, race to her, and he's like, it's Bethany! Bethany's the murderer! Bethany is sus! They don't say that in the movie. That's me being rude. So just so you know. Was there a charisma check? I can't remember. Oh, just in case there was. Who cares, man? Who cares? But yeah, so Bethany is sus. So he's running away, and he's trying to get to the girl, and he's like banging on her door. He's like, I have to talk to you, MC. I know who the killer is. I have to talk to you. And then, of course, he gets arrested. And I haven't even gone into the fact that there's this stupid subplot where the police officer guy is the MC's ex-boyfriend, and it's the police officer guy. It doesn't mean anything, okay? It literally means nothing for the entire show. It literally doesn't. It doesn't mean anything. All right. We should have discarded the Eldritch Amulet, by the way, but it's so fun. Why would I possibly want to get rid of it? It's so fun. We rarely get to have it. Thank God it was this guy, right? Thank God for that. We could probably run away and still be perfectly fine, but you know, we'll just do this. And so the movie ends with a, and you know, listen, they're playing to their strengths, all right? They know that the special effects aren't that good, so they only fire a couple of bullets, and they don't look very good. Like, listen, I don't want to be rude, but the bullet effects look absolutely terrible. But that's not the point, alright? Like, the point is that the daughter is deadly. It's true. It's real and true. The daughter is deadly. So, I mean, listen, there's more to it than that, right? Like, there's some stuff I didn't tell you about, but that's basically it. Like, it was... It was fine. It was fine. It was absolutely psychotic, though. Like, I just... Yeah, it was psychotic. It was an absolutely psychotic movie. That's the only way that I can describe it, is that... It was... I almost want to say that, like, when Joey and I get the podcast up, like, we gotta interview the person who... Hold on, we gotta interview the person who did Deadly Daughter. Hold on. Deadly Daughter TV movie. I gotta find out. I swear to God. I really... No, that's Deadly... There's multiple movies called Deadly Daughter. Oh no. Oh no, there's multiple movies called Deadly Daughter. It's not Deadly Daughter Switch. Oh no. What movie did I watch? I could have swore it was called Deadly I could have swore it was called Deadly Daughter. Download Deadly Daughter Switch? No, I don't think I will. A Daughter's Revenge. What did I watch? I could have swore it was called Deadly Daughter. That's what the TV announcer said before it started. Oh no, there's multiple Deadly Daughters. Oh, good lord, they're everywhere. Okay, so second mystery, I don't care, it doesn't matter. Charisma, blah, 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 we're good, it's fine, just go. Oh, man. Bulletin, yay. Corpse dust. And then we're level 5 now, and we can do pickpocketing. We can pickpocket Takashi and get the best ring in the game. Because that's how that works. I still don't understand how that works. You pickpocket the final boss and then you get the best item. Can you even switch items during combat in Blue Dragon? I don't remember. It's been forever since I played that game. Anyways, Eldritch Amulet, because we might as well. Don't have time to change equipment. Okay. We can do 20 damage. Nice. I think throwing the Eldritch Amulet should just uninstall the game, honestly. Because, like, how many times do you actually get that item? How many times do you actually get that item? I don't know, dude. Alright, get me out of here. Thanks so much for watching. The name's Webweaver. Patented Miku ending screen. Oh god, it's a 33-minute video, please. Oh no. I wanted to try to do it quickly, but I guess Deadly Daughter do hit different, though. So yeah, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Stay safe out there. Bye.